hits takeover of Lakon Spaceways. The purchase of shipbuilding company Lakon Spaceways by Core Dynamics is in doubt after allegations of illegal business practices. Earth and Karim reported on the recent developments for the Alliance Tribune. The Independent Commission for Market Equality has confirmed that several Lakon shareholders sold their stock to shell companies, which were covertly established by departments within Core Dynamics. Furthermore, 2 serious accusations of blackmail have been referred to Alliance Interpol. Trent Delaney, Lakon's newly installed chairperson, has dismissed these claims. But coupled with serious rumblings from the Council of Admirals over losing a military supplier, his hostile takeover now looks less certain. In the Federation, the newsfeed Sol today ran an editorial piece on the situation. Acquiring Lakon is another bold triumph for manufacturing colossus Core Dynamics. It's a shame that it's being undermined by the petty bureaucrats of the Alliance, who should be gratefully grasping this financial lifeline. It's also laughable that CEO Jupiter Rochester, one of our titans of industry, is being stabbed in the back by old-fashioned colleagues who are clearly jealous of his success. Perhaps his Jupiter division has finally outgrown the corporation and deserves to forge its own path. New Marlinist systems Federation alert. The newly settled Marlinist colonies have asked for urgent deliveries of foodstuffs. Millions of Marlinists have relocated to aid systems colonized for them by the Sirius Corporation, thereby reducing tension between the Empire and the Federation. They have asked Universal Cartographics to delay a census of the system's populations, while the refugees lay the infrastructure for their new societies. The Marlinist factions are holding democratic elections to select their leaders. However, the Transitional Parliament has declared an emergency due to the shortage of food stocks. Community spokesperson Dr. Jenna Fairfax announced, "We are grateful to the galactic community and Sirius Corporation for providing homes. However, we need further help to feed our people in the short term, until we can become self-sufficient. The more supplies we can stockpile, the faster our economies will develop. This in turn will allow us to offer greater commodity discounts to encourage the establishment of regular trade routes. Pilots are asked to deliver animal meat, fish, fruit and vegetables, and grain to Stillman Hub in the HIP-22550 system. As this system's defense forces are still being formed, the Free Marlinists of Carini have offered bounties on all wanted ships to secure these initial trade runs to the Marlinist colonies. Xenological samples delivered to Colonia. Pilots Federation alert. The Holloway Bioscience Institute has rewarded pilots who delivered living matter extracted from space-dwelling organisms. Many shipments of seed pod tissue samples arrived at Shack Station, from where they will be transported to the Holloway Biology Center on Colonia 7G. These will be used to replenish stocks used in the facility's experimentation program. Dr. Roy Casimir, chief researcher at the center, expressed his gratitude. These vital supplies mean that we can resume our studies on the incredible organisms that float through the void. Here at Holloway, we're making many breakthroughs in the field of xenobiology, some with intriguing commercial possibilities. The Holloway Bioscience Institute now plans to establish experimental habitats for vacuum lifeforms in the following systems: EOL-PRU PCKC9221, EOL-PRU LWLC899, EOL-PRU KWLC8301, EOL-PRU PCKC9154. Pilots who contributed to this initiative can now collect their rewards from Jacques Station in the Colonia system. Dynamics Insider discusses Lakon takeover. An anonymous source within the shipbuilding corporation Core Dynamics has revealed details behind its hostile takeover of Lakon Spaceways. The nameless insider had previously stated that the acquisition of Lakon was the personal project of Core Dynamics CEO Jupiter Rochester. These additional claims were broadcast via Vox Galactica. In the last few years, Rochester has purchased many companies based outside the Federation, such as Vodal. Lakon Spaceways is just the latest. It seems legal, but he manages these subsidiaries directly and installs his own people there. Some say he's diversifying his family's private holdings, rather than expanding the business. It's well known that several departments only follow Rochester's directives and operate in silos unconnected with the rest of Core Dynamics. Staff refer to them as Jupiter Division. Some offices even started using that name, like they're a separate company within a company. I've heard that some directors are unhappy with Rochester, but he's too well connected to ever get rid of. It's thanks to him that we have so many military contracts. As always, the rich get away with anything. Core Dynamics declined to comment on this statement. Naomi Landseer, former chairperson of the Lakon Spaceways Board of Directors, has asked the Independent Commission for Market Equality to investigate further. Date set for trial of Fleet Admiral Vincent. Vincent of the Federal Navy will stand trial on the 25th of January, charged with conspiracy to commit murder and treason. The the Federal Attorney's Office has successfully obtained a grand jury indictment against Fleet Admiral Vincent. He is accused of arranging the sabotage of presidential vessel Starship 1 in 3301 to assassinate then-President Jasmina Halsey. Although she was later recovered alive, hundreds died when the ship was destroyed in flight. These charges were brought following the trial of Rory Webster, a naval technician who was implicated in the failure of Starship 1's hyperdrive system. Mr. Webster confessed his involvement, but offered a plea bargain by providing evidence that he was following clandestine orders from Vincent. The subsequent arrest caused repercussions in military and political circles. President Zachary Hudson's long-term association with Vincent resulted in Republican congressmen losing confidence in his leadership and increased the Liberal Party's popularity. As a naval chief of staff, Fleet Admiral Vincent is the highest-ranking federal military officer to ever stand trial. Media interest remains intense, with much public speculation about corruption among the Federation's highest echelons. The trial will take place at the Federal High Court in Olympus Village on Mars, and is expected to last several weeks. Aegis supports Galactic Summit. The organization Aegis has expressed support for Utopia's offer to host a galactic summit for all three superpowers. Aegis was jointly formed by the Alliance, Empire and Federation to study the Thargoids, and develop new methods of monitoring and combating their forces. Professor Albert Tesreau, head of research at Aegis, gave this statement. Humanity's focus on petty internal conflicts has blinded us to the existential threat of the Thargoids. Their recent horrific attacks should be a wake-up call to the fact that defunding has crippled Aegis's ability to offer protection. We strongly entreat our founders to come together and channel resources toward Aegis, and particularly into research. There can be no hope of coexistence with this alien species unless we increase our understanding of them. No official responses to Utopia's proposal have been made as yet. However, Prime Minister Edmund Mahone, Princess Aisling Duval and Shadow President Felicia Winters have all signaled broad approval of the idea. There are reports that many congressmen, councillors and senators are pressuring their respective leaders to attend the diplomatic conference. Simguru Pranav Antal has confirmed that the governments of independent systems will also be welcome to send delegates to the Galactic Summit. However, Utopia's primary aim is to provide neutral territory for the Alliance, Empire and Federation to debate policies.